Well, hello everyone. I'm now in the downstairs of my house, starting off in my wife's office. I did a major facelift down here. Every square inch of the downstairs has been facelifted. Nothing looks the same as it did, not even the ceiling. Tile all throughout, and I did not do the tile work. I don't really do tile. But I did pretty much everything else. And we see this space here, try to get some distance on it here. That was just empty in there. So I made it into a closet, and I made these two doors. And these two doors are made out of poplar in the middle and then hemlock on the edges. Same thing here, two such doors. Let's open one up. Standard IKEA cabinetry, which works just fine. We're very happy with IKEA. This is IKEA too. This thing was originally made, I think it's supposed to be a shoe rack of some sort. Anyway, works fine. And that is garage sale. Or maybe even the side of the road. I don't know. Okay, lots of wood trim throughout, so forth. Some of it's not catching. Let's just do a quick little spiel here. It was an empty space, so I put it in a bookshelf, or bookcase, I guess I should say. And the boards I used, those boards are Home Depot construction lumber. You see they're thick, they're 1.5 inches thick, thicker than normal boards you would see on a shelf. And I've never liked the fact that shelves bow, thin boards bow under the weight of all these books. So I used thick boards, and I just picked out, nice pieces out of the lumber pile. Again, just construction lumber, but I sanded it, lacquered it, and made a nice little bookcase. Okay, let's move on. Redid the washroom, but anything in there. Put in these. Put in that to hide an ugly space. Not much to say in here. Okay. Room here, water heater, ironing board. Bathroom, pretty standard looking, frankly. Let's dive into my son's room. My son is just home from college, and okay. Don't look. Don't look. Don't look. Oh, just embarrassing. Okay, don't look. So, also don't look at me, because we're going to look at a mirror. Well, here. It's nice. This is the backside of that other closet we were just looking at. See, it was a big, deep box, that thing was. And so I made it sort of into two closets. One with those nice hemlock and poplar doors you saw on the other side of this thing. And then on this side, you have a somewhat shallow, but very serviceable IKEA closet. Okay. So now let's look at this mirror. See, these two pieces are mirror images of each other. That's because you cut the board like this, and it's called book match. So you take a board, cut it in half, and then these pieces end up being mirror images. This particularly beautiful piece of tiger wood that was given to me by a departed friend, and it was very nice of him. He just said, "I'm not using these, Lee, you take it." And so I did, and I'm very grateful for that. Okay, let's go on out. This door goes to a little space under the stairs, right? A storage area. Where did I get a door that was that small? Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you where that door came from. Somebody wrecked the other door. Okay, somebody got caught behind this door, fairly expensive louvered door that I bought at Frank's door store. You're going to hear about Frank again in a minute. And there it was, and he went in there when we weren't home. And then he tried to back out, and piecing it together, I think he shut the door with his butt, and then he panicked, and then he busted out. And so the bottom half was destroyed. But the top half was fine. So I took the door, I cut it in half, crosswise like that, flipped it around, and put it there. So, you know, it definitely wasn't a total loss. And now that I think about it, the money spent for this door was actually nothing compared to other sums of money that had been expended on someone else's behalf. Okay, so louvered door here. Let's see. Okay, let's come here. Let's talk about this real quick. I'm gonna brag real quick. Our house was on the front cover of a magazine circa 1932, no, 1952. Hello, and there was no particular reason for it. There were other houses that are built on the block that are basically identical to this. These were not designed as high-income homes. It's a 2,000 square foot home designed for people of modest means, really. And but it was designed by a guy named Frank Rossetti. I talk about that in another video about the mid-century modern theme. And I've kind of tried to make this room down here consistent with a mid-century vibe. You know, to what extent I succeeded, I don't know. But there was no reason for our house in particular to be on the cover. It just was. We just got lucky. Okay, let's take a look here. This is not Home Depot lumber. This is more canary wood. You know I like canary wood if you've seen my other video. And so what was here before was an ugly post, but I couldn't remove it because it was a structural post. So, you know, I like to wrap things if you've seen my other videos. So I wrapped it, and it's a very pretty piece of canary. The one thing I want to show you is that if you're a carpenter, you'll see this right away. But normally, if you're going to do it the easy way, you'd have the board here, and then you have a board here, and they would meet, and you'd see the end of the board. Of this board, you'd see the end, like along there. It's called a butt joint. But this is a 45-degree miter joint all the way down. They're harder to do, but they look a lot nicer. So on all four of them, you have the miter joints, and it's really worth it. It was really worth it because really helps, you know, set off the room. It just wouldn't be right any other way. Now that it's hard to tell in this light, but see, that is Home Depot hemlock. Right? It's kind of hard to tell in this light, but anyway. Okay, so what's that? IKEA cabinetry. IKEA cabinetry. Why am I even showing that to you? Just to brag again, this was one of my best Craigslist finds. A small company was getting rid of this. They wanted $200 for the whole lot, so I took it, installed it 15 years ago. It served like a champ. There's this dish. Okay, so what am I doing in this room? What do I want to show you here? Let's step out and again, really, I'm in the middle of something, okay? Just hang. This whole area was just a rectangle, right? Nothing here, just a rectangle. So, you know, I put in the cabinetry, of course, but my wife has her office that I showed you, and I wanted an office too, so I put in partitions. Let's take a look at this. Here's a track down here. Here's a track up here, and those are the doors. Now, the track I did not put in. I knew a homeless guy who did tile and concrete work, and he was homeless, and he was kind of a wild guy, but I trusted him to make these cuts in the concrete, and I was nervous, but it worked. So, wow, worked for him, worked for me. Let's open these doors. And you can configure them in any way you want. And usually I have the doors completely closed, right? A little bit of privacy because, you know, can't see the glass very well, and a little bit of sound deflection, not much. Let's see, put in this thing, storage area, no big deal. Put in the electrical, of course. Let's just shut this again. Normally they are not shut, but we will shut it. And I want to show you a little detail here I kind of like. Let's take a look at this. You see, behind here you don't see plywood or construction lumber or particle board or whatever, you see cloth. And I thought that's a little nicer touch. Even, you see the tracks. And boy, I'm not doing a good job of showing this sunlight. Anyway, take my word for it. There's cloth under the tracks. And a little cloth appointment here. And then back there, about a foot in. Well, I'm going to lose my audience here because I'm doing a lousy job. You get the idea. Now, looking at this, you might think, what, serpents? How does that go with this theme? It doesn't. This is cloth that was left over from, remember the reticulated Epicurean, you know, the gourmet python thing? This cloth was left over, so I just used it. And the serpents don't work, but the colors do. The colors do work. And so if you were here, I think you would agree that it blends, and as far as what they actually are, like representing snakes, nobody notices or cares. So I'm happy with it. Snickers, you do this every time. Now he's going to come back and make me open the door again. Speaking of Snickers, of course, we had that, and there's our dearly departed Dashiell. You'll never see him in a video. He died a long time ago. I built laid about 500-600 pounds of concrete out there to build a little mausoleum for Dashiell. And you probably already think I'm weird, and that's not helping. But anyway, that was our dearly departed Dashiell. So I talked about that. Quick word about the whiteboard here. I like using a whiteboard. There we go. Thank you. They're really good for writing notes and stuff. Just a little word of advice. If you get a glass one like this, because the vinyl ones leave little ghosts after a while, and they don't look very good. You could put permanent marker on here and it would come right off because it's glass. Okay, just a little word of advice. They do cost more. They do cost more. Okay, Home Depot. Hemlock. Let's see, talked about that. I pretty much covered just about everything we got. You might recognize this. This is, hello, senior moment, poplar and hemlock, just like those doors in that first room I showed you. So I was kind of on a poplar hemlock theme. And then this desk comes up. I'll put it back down. It comes up pretty high. I'll put it back down. It's going back down. And it's nice to have it up high if like you're working here and you have to go over there, then you have to come back here, you have to go over there, you have to come back here. It's awfully nice to have this desk up and raised. And also it gives your back a big break after a while. Put in corkboard here to protect against noise coming from the furnace room. And there's also about a 3/4 inch layer of sound deadening material behind the corkboard. So together they keep this room nice and quiet. I never did get over the trauma of seeing my son grow up and leave home. I still have his art up, and in fact, the whole hallway was papered with his art until recently. My wife made me take it down. But here in my little office, I still keep it up. Well, he didn't do that, but he, let's see, what's a representative of mid-career Max at, there, he did that, masterpiece. Okay. Saved up my pennies literally and walked down to the Pay and Save when I was a little boy. And I bought this record right here. And I brought it home, and I played it, and I've been a lead head ever since. Okay, what have we not covered? You folks have been patient. You've been hanging with me for a long time. So I have the other videos. I have a video where I do the exterior of the house, video where I do my art, and there's more stuff I could show you. If people want me to, I can show more stuff, but I think that I've probably tuckered everyone out. So thank you for taking a look at my videos. See the other videos if you haven't seen them and you're at all interested, and I appreciate it, and you take care.